Let's go. Remco second.
So, Mimotians, welcome to this interview with Professor Thierry Zins. We're in Singapore, we're at the Youth Olympics, and of course this is a very nice opportunity to do some interviews for the Mimotian website. Welcome and thanks. I've looked up your resume on the internet, and just to make an introduction to all of us. You're teaching management of sport and organization at the Catholic University of Leuven in Belgium. You've written 2 books in the meantime. You are vice president of the Belgian Olympic Committee. You're president of the Belgian National Archery Federation.
That's it.
And what I also saw, and there was a very long list, which I would like to mention, is that you're chairman of the International Federation Commission, the Youth Development Committee.
Absolutely.
So I guess you're at the Youth Olympics in the function of the International Federation.
Yeah.
What is your function and what do you do on a daily basis?
So I've been appointed by the International Federation as an event delegate, which means that I am in charge of the well-functioning of the competition, and I am a kind of interface between the athletes, the coaches, the International Federation and the organizing committee.
Okay. So what's your biggest challenge during these Olympics?
Well, I would say that the biggest challenge is to make sure that the 3 main ideas that are behind the concept of the Youth Olympic Games will be realized through the competitions. And I mean high-level competition with, in the meantime, respect for values, for sports values and education.
Okay. There are a total of 204 Olympic committees participating in the Youth Olympics. How many NOCs are participating in the archery competition?
So we have 40 NOCs participating in the archery competition. You have to know that the system for archery was that we would select 32 boys and 32 girls through World Championships last year and 2 continental qualification tournaments. But within the 32, we also allocated a certain amount of what we call continental, universality places, which is the concept is that with the 32 athletes, you would have a representation from the 5 continents.
Now, what's your general experience of Singapore?
Well, it's the second time that I come to Singapore. I came 1.5 years ago to visit the sports accommodations. My first impression by that time was that Singapore was able to do great things, but in between they have realized a fantastic organization. We are now 3 days in competition, I mean not specifically in archery but globally, and I think that what they did is absolutely great.
Yeah. I share that, definitely. Okay, last night we had a very nice memo dinner in the China Royale restaurant in the Raffles Hotel. I think we had about 14 participants, and of course during these memos events you always meet some new memos colleagues, which is of course very interesting and very nice. Switching back to memos, since when are you involved in the memos program?
So I was first involved in the memos in 2005, and the reason was that after doing a PhD between 2000 and 2004 with Jean Camille, who was my PhD promoter, Jean Camille wanted to involve me in the memos program, first as a tutor and later on as a teacher.
Okay. So in September the new Memos program will start. That's I think the 14th edition.
Absolutely.
Of course the first one and the last one will be in Lausanne. Where will the other 2 modules be organized?
So we will have a module in January in Nairobi, Kenya, and then in April we will go to the INSEP in Paris. I think it's important to go to Africa because, as you know, Africa is a growing continent in sports events and organization. I refer to the World Cup football. But being in Kenya with such an educational program and the support of Olympic Solidarity is, in my point of view, essential.
Okay. And how many participants will there be?
So we selected 39 participants. One already decided not to participate, so at this point we have 38 participants.
Okay. Okay. And what's the average of students that every tutor is guiding?
Well, usually we try to affect 3 tutees to each tutor, and we consider that it makes possible for each tutor to follow accurately the tutees.
Okay. Okay. We have now a platform, of course, an internet platform where we can exchange information. What's your experience and how do you see this develop in the near future?
Well, I think, of course, internet is the future, even in education, because we can work with distance learning, and we probably would include this in the MEMOS program. But in the meantime, we have, as you said, 2 platforms. One that is more oriented in the direction of gathering friends and keeping friends within MEMOS. This is the one you are running. And there is another one that is more oriented to the education part of MEMOS, and that will be used each year by the participant of that MEMOS.
Right. Okay. In the meantime, I also understood that there's an announcement we can make now about your involvement in the MEMOS program in the future.
So indeed, Jean-Luc Chaplet decided that it was time for him to stop with his function of director of the English-speaking MEMOS. And my colleagues appointed me in May during the MEMOS module in Malta to become the next MEMOS director as from the 10th of September.
Okay, then I would like to congratulate you with that.
Thank you, Remco.
Jean-Luc, also thanks for all the work during the last years, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
Okay.
This was Remco. Second.